Right now on Arkansas Crime Watch, firefighters make a startling discovery.
It's very scary, very scary.
What they found that resulted in this man being arrested and charged with arson and capital murder.
At Alpha Bravo Charlie. This one.
U.S. Marshals launch a new operation to track down a wanted Arkansas fugitive.
I'm fully convinced he's dead. It's just the point of finding him now.
An exclusive behind-the-scenes look as the hunt for Brian Keith Freeman intensifies. A scam artist targets the wrong victim.
I think we're just going to play this out and see how it goes.
How far this officer went to try and shut the scam down.
Through 75 counties and hundreds of investigations, from the most violent crimes to petty infractions. This is Arkansas Crime Watch with Kevin Kelly.
Authorities in Jacksonville make an arrest after finding a man's body inside a burned house. The man you see here, Rocio Barber, now charged with capital murder, arson, and abuse of a corpse, tampering, and illegal possession of a firearm. Good evening and thanks for watching Arkansas Crime Watch on Fox16.com. I'm Kevin Kelly. We'll have more on Barber's arrest in just a minute, but first, what led up to him being arrested? Last Monday, Jacksonville fire units responded to an apartment fire along the 800 block of Redmond Road. Once the flames were out, they made a startling discovery: the charred remains of an unidentified male. Rochelle Turner picks up the story from there.
This open door shows what's left of a fire that happened Monday night at this apartment complex in Jacksonville. Police found a man dead inside.
It's very scary, very scary. That's too close to my mom and I, did not sleep last night because of it, because that's what we were afraid of.
A viewer captured this video of the chaos as thick clouds of smoke filled the air. Della Vance lives near the complex on Redmond Road and called 911.
We heard a big bang, like a transformer or maybe railroad cars hitting together.
The loud boom woke neighbors up.
I was in the bed and it shook me, and then the whole side of the backside, and then it was so bad I had to cover my vents from the smell.
Jacksonville Fire worked quickly to put out the flames before it spread to other units.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
The coroner says the man's body was burned badly, making it hard to say how old he was.
It's sad that this had to happen around in this neighborhood, because generally it's a quiet, everybody keeps to themselves and watch out for each other.
Officials ruled his death as a homicide, leaving neighbors puzzled.
I'd just like to know what happened. That's just the biggest fear.
Well, 2 days after the fire, officers did identify the victim as 48-year-old Murphy Atkins. They also tracked down the man who they say killed him. Police say Rocio Barber shot and killed Atkins and then set the apartment on fire. Police also say 2 witnesses came forward claiming they saw Barber shoot Atkins. Barber was then arrested at a different apartment complex less than 2 miles from the homicide scene. What police haven't disclosed yet is why he shot Atkins. He's being held without bail, and the investigation is far from over. Human remains found last weekend in Hazen have been identified as those of a missing cross-county woman. Christy Rooks was last seen leaving her boyfriend's house in mid-January. Her car was found by the Arkansas Highway Patrol last Friday. Her boyfriend, Earl Parks, now charged with capital murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and possession of a firearm. The wife of a food truck operator arrested after her husband told police she attacked him with a meat cleaver. 33-year-old Veronica Astrid was taken into custody earlier this week and charged with aggravated assault on a family or household member. According to a police report, she and her husband got into an argument inside their food truck. That's when he claims she picked up a meat cleaver and swung it at him, just missing him. He escaped and called police. If found guilty, she could face up to 6 years in jail. In tonight's crime report, community leaders are asking people to step up and help stop the violence after a double homicide in Little Rock last weekend. 21-year-old Ikira Tate and 24-year-old Brittany Tate were shot and killed at a home on South Ringo last Saturday. A 2-year-old also injured. Earlier this week, Reverend Benny Johnson, along with neighbors and friends, gathered to pray and ask people to help them find victory over violence. One woman whose son was killed 6 years ago spoke about the great need in the city for mentors and help for mental health in young people.
These are babies. We're not going to have anything going on if we still killing our youth. Our youth is our future. As of right now, we may not have it. We don't have people to stand up for our community.
Police say the double homicide was an isolated incident and all 3 victims lived in the home. Police are still looking for any information to help find those responsible. Scammers can hit anyone, anytime, but this time they picked the wrong target. As Claire Kreitz reports, the person who was targeted turned out to be a cop who decided to play along with the scam.
It's your typical scam text.
Basically, they were going to give me $500 a week to put a monster sticker on the side of my car.
But this isn't your typical target. As an officer for the Hot Springs Police Department, Corporal Joey Williams knows a scam when he sees one, but wanted to have a little fun.
Normally I delete those, but I was sitting with my wife and I said, I think we're just going to play this out and see how it goes.
Here's how it works. The scammer will send you a check for more than what they first said they would give you. You deposit it, then they want you to send them the difference.
It bounces because it's not a real check, and then the bank's after you for that money.
Corporal Williams decided to text back, saying he was interested in the transaction. That's when a new number started contacting him, explaining more.
They even go as far to send me a picture of a car with the decal on it. So I replied back, great. Can I show you my car to see what it would look like on there?
Williams sends back this picture of his patrol car. And you'd think that would stop this scammer in their tracks. But you'd be wrong.
They actually tried to solicit me for more information. So eventually I ended in the whole conversation with I'm a cop.
That did the trick. Williams posted the whole exchange on social media, yes, to get a few laughs, but also educate people that scammers can hit anyone, even police officers.
But at the end of the day, if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
And there is a follow-up to this story. Believe it or not, the scammer contacted Corporal Williams again, asking him for an address to send the check to. So he gave it to him, and as you can see, well, the scammer sent the check the next day for $2,500. So now the officer is waiting to see if the scammer follows up before he makes his next move. Turning now to our Crime Tracker report, a warning if you live in Grant County, there's a lot of fake cash going around. The Grant County Sheriff's Department is urging local businesses to be aware of fake $100 bills circulating. The fake bills have pink foreign lettering on the front and back, as you can see in these pictures. And a reminder, passing counterfeit money as real money, well, that's a federal offense. The Central Arkansas Drug Task Force made a major dent in getting drugs off the street in 2019. Here's the proof. It closed out the year with over $11.5 million worth of confiscated narcotics. It worked over 500 cases, resulting in the seizure of over 36 pounds of heroin, 98 pounds of methamphetamine, 261 pounds of marijuana, and 80 pounds of LSD. The task force consists of officers from Searcy, White County, and Lono County.
He's accused of killing Lori Hanna inside her Ward home in March of 2017.
Did he admit to the crime?
To his mother, he did.
Since then, his whereabouts have remained a mystery.
I'm fully convinced he's dead.
After nearly 3 years of dead ends, U.S. Marshals launch a new operation.
I'm just thinking it's going to be that portion of woods there.
You think that's where he went?
That's if I had to bet.
Tonight, a Fox 16 exclusive as U.S. Marshals hunt down Brian Keith Freeman.
Hundreds of tips and leads have poured in since Brian Keith Freeman murdered Lori Hanna back in 2017, but so far every single one has resulted in a dead end, except for one. A phone call made by Freeman himself from a wooded area in Royce City, Texas. Tonight, a Crime Watch exclusive as U.S. Marshals launch Operation Backtrack, a massive search effort to find the remains of one of Arkansas's most wanted fugitives.
Things move at a slow pace in Royce City, Texas. Sidewalks are empty. The streets quiet. And the coffee and wine well closed for the day. What locals don't know was that inside the police department, a major investigation is about to be unleashed right in their backyard.
Got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie.
This one, and this one.
Yeah, like, no, we don't think he's here.
This is day one of Operation Backtrack, an all-hands-on-deck search effort led by U.S. Marshals to find the human remains of one of Arkansas's most wanted, Brian Keith Freeman, wanted for the 2017 murder of his ex-fiancée Lori Hanna, who was found dead inside her home in Ward.
So this has been my case now for the last 2.5 years.
Deputy Jeremy Hammonds with the Eastern Arkansas Fugitive Task Force leading the charge.
I'm fully convinced he's dead. It's just the point of finding him now.
Before the search can be launched, all parties are briefed on the case.
Somewhere right in here.
The terrain, emergency situations, medical support.
We have the opportunity to take a look at the bones.
And what to do when and if they come across any suspected evidence. A huge task to coordinate, but one Chief Thomas Miranda has mastered.
The incident management team and the techniques that we use, that's what this is for. It's to bring together different jurisdictions, unify their efforts, and then command and control towards one objective.
I've got MTOs with me.
5 teams will focus on a 5.7 square mile area surrounding the spot where Freeman's truck was found abandoned on March 27th. 2017.
It wasn't like covered, it wasn't burned, it wasn't the LPN hadn't been taken off, it wasn't, it was just casually walked away from. Why don't you take our state trooper?
Each team will consist of 2 trained field officers, a cadaver dog, and a forensic anthropologist.
As bone begins to degrade in the environment, it stains. And so if the soil is brown, you get brown stained bone. If it's red clay, you end up with reddish bone. If it's in a wet and sunny environment, it grows moss.
Deputy Hammond says all the evidence he's collected over the past 2.5 years keeps pointing him back to Royce City, including Freeman's last known phone call.
He said, I hope God will forgive me for this. I'm going to kill myself. And she said, where are you? He just said, I'm somewhere in Texas. I've dumped the truck. I've walked out into the woods. He was an avid hunter. I think he went and found him a comfortable place. And he said, I'm going to kill myself.
It is possible Freeman didn't kill himself and that the phone call he made was just a hoax to try and get marshals off his trail. In order to confirm that theory, they need to search every inch of the wooded area surrounding the spot where he ditched his car. So, on day 2 of Operation Backtrack, the teams hit the ground running and head into the thick, nasty, and muddy wooded area. The search area covering 5.7 square miles, and our highly trained cadaver dogs are leading the charge.
Dog gave some indication right where he is in the water?
Yes, the canine that we're using, Skylar, her alert is she lays down, and she literally just laid down right in the middle of that creek.
Next week on Arkansas Crime Watch, I'll take you behind the scenes as U.S. Marshals officially launch Operation Backtrack, what we found in that wooded area, and what sparked major interests, the obstacles we faced, along with the new evidence we learned about Brian Keith Freeman. So be sure to tune in next Sunday for part 2 of my 3-part series, The Hunt for Brian Keith Freeman. Tonight's Mug of the Week goes to this man, Timothy Earl Johnson. He faces a slew of charges, including criminal mischief, residential burglary, theft by receiving, theft of property, and unlawful transfer of stolen property to a pawn shop. As we leave you, here's a look at Arkansas's most wanted. We want to remind you all of the suspects you've seen tonight are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. Remember, if you have any information on any of these cases we talked about tonight, you're asked to call your local police department. Thanks for watching Arkansas Crime Watch. I'm Kevin Kelly. Be smart, be safe, and if you see something, be sure to say something. I'll see you tomorrow night on Fox 16 News at 9.